Now let us begin again. Third important characteristic feature of the Indian Constitution is that it is neither purely rigid or wholly flexible. In other words, it has adopted a midway between the extreme rigidity and the extreme flexibility. Now, if you see, as I have discussed already at the beginning, that it is the bulkiest constitution, and there are 103 amendments till date. That means the amendments can be done in the case of the Indian Constitution, done by the law, not maybe, it is to be amended by the laws to be framed by the Parliament. So there are 103 amendments. There are certain provisions in our country in which the Constitution can be amended by Parliament. In the ordinary law making process, like alteration of boundaries between the boundaries of the states, creation or abolition of second chamber in a state. Again, Parliament alone can alter the provisions of the Constitution relating to the fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy. Where are the fundamental rights? As I have already told you, that fundamental rights are in the Part 3 of the Indian Constitution, and directive principles of state policy are under Part 4 of the Constitution. Now, these fundamental rights sometimes can be amended by a majority of the total membership and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members present, and voting in each house of Parliament is necessary. That means the amendment bill must be passed by the majority of the members of the Parliament present. Members, those are present. But a special procedure is adopted in case of amendment of the federal principles of the Constitution. An amendment bill for that purpose may be initiated in either house of the Parliament. It must be passed by a majority of the total membership and by a majority of not less than 2/3 members present, and voting in each house of Parliament is necessary, or is a must. And it must, another provision is there, that it must be ratified by the legislatures of half of the constituent states of India. These principles relate to the election of the president, distribution of powers between the federation and the states. Thus, our Constitution is partly rigid and partly flexible. So, our Constitution has adopted a midway between the rigidity and the flexibility. Next important point is our, as a characteristic feature, is our preamble embedded in the Constitution. And this preamble says that, or declares India as a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Now, India is sovereign because it is sovereign both in internal sphere and also in external field. The government of India exercises supremacy over the people and associations within its jurisdiction. India is also free from foreign control. That means India is a sovereign country and it has a government of its own. It is socialist because all people are equal, and it is secular because the state does not possess any religion. India is democratic because we elect representatives of parliament and state legislatures. India is republic because the president, he is the titular or the nominal head of the state, is elected.